Hey everybody, how are we all doing today? This is JaySquatch Gaming, and I'm Jay. Welcome to Space Gladiators, Escaping Tartarus. So, Space Gladiators is a roguelite platforming game, and the map is procedurally generated, so every single run is a little bit different. On top of that, there's a whole mess of items that you can use and find. And it's completely random as far as I've seen so far, so you can play it completely different every time. You know, different weapons work in different ways, scale with different stats and things like that. I mean, I've even seen, I think I saw a couple abilities that scale with like how much money you actually have on hand, things like that. And with the way that the map is set up, you usually have options in where you're going. You can go to, you know, you can never go back, but you could go up, down, left, right, mix it up, and choose which, and pick and choose which rooms you kind of want to get to. For instance, if your maximum health is pretty low, you might see one of the doctors, and you go to him, he can boost your health up for you. But you'll have to work your way there through the assortment of other rooms and enemies to get to it. But that's my quick little rundown on the game. Let's get right into it. And that said, let's jump down into the hole so I can show you folks what this game is all about. You will end up in a character select screen, but when you first enter the game, you'll only have access to the Gladiator. Pretty much just the base run-of-the-mill, jack-of-all-trades dude. You enter into a room with 3 items randomly generated for you. An offensive, defensive, and passive ability. This one's not really striking my fancy. The extra health is nice, but that 20% speed and jump height debuff is going to be permanent. And there are many other ways that we can find to increase our health. So once you enter the actual section where you'll be playing, you'll see a map in the top right, which is procedurally generated, and it kind of shows you, I guess, an itinerary of what's coming up next, and where you can go based on where you are now. As once you've moved into one room, you can't go back to the previous one, so you're essentially stuck with that decision. You can only move forward. And there are rooms without really any enemies at all that focus mainly on you having to avoid all the traps. Those cannonballs can be deflected away from you at any given time, assuming that you've got the timing down. And there's also question mark rooms. Once, I killed an ogre with a little spoon. I'm tougher than I look. You look like a ball, brother, but alright. So there's mystery rooms, I guess, that have a surprise, more or less, in it. It could be a character like that, giving you an item. Or it also could just be more enemies. So at the end of each section, you enter into an arena, and they offer you 3 different fights, each containing different enemies, as well as different rewards for completing them. I think based on whether or not you go higher or lower in the map, the difficulty the possible difficulty of these will increase, as well as the rewards. And after that, you will enter into the shop, giving you a chance to pick up some new items. They're passive abilities, and this one will allow us to increase our strength by a huge amount in exchange for one of our health. I'm not too concerned about that. if you play carefully and pay attention to the map, you can usually find some way to get around that. For instance, if I go up and to the right in the map after this one, you'll see what looks like an old man with wings. And what he's going to have for us is a whole bunch of injections for our guy, of which we can pick one, and one of those will be the option to increase our maximum health. And I can't quite remember if I had mentioned it yet, but one of the things that really draws me to the game is the hand-drawn art style. You know, I think digital media is wonderful, and there's a lot of amazing things that you can do with it. But it's really a lot of fun seeing it drawn, you know, a game done in, almost a cartoonish art style. And it's looking like that strength is really doing wonders for us. You do have to take into account that if it takes you forever to kill the guys, they're going to have more time to attack you. So you're usually best off trying to take everybody out as soon as possible. Come into the second arena, as you can see, up on the top they've got different enemies here, and down on the bottom you can see the different rewards we'll get for completing each one. So while that magnet is one that I do enjoy, the veteran is tempting. We're going to go with the magnet. That's going to allow us to collect more money, as we won't end up losing any of it. And we're whooping up on these guys pretty handily. A lot of the times it's not too difficult. Obviously the difficulty will increase as the game progresses. So we'll take that cross. That's going to increase our max health as well as heal us. And the seismic device is a fun passive ability that we'll grab as well. So anytime that we break one of the destructibles on the ground, that's going to deal damage. Oh, and of course I got to take this one. We have the heart ability as well, which is going to allow us to heal in a rather interesting way. Once I've made it out of this area, we'll give you a quick demonstration of it. And we've got a fruit down here, that's more money, as well as increasing our health. Not that it mattered, I'm a dumpster fire and managed to take 3 damage just there anyway. But that's a perfect opportunity to show off the heart. We picked up a spiked doll though, a spiky doll. And it'll protect you from wall spikes and thorns. So that'll be handy. Now we can heal, so we literally throw our heart out onto the ground and have to chase it down. The seismic device is fun, but it's definitely not particularly effective. There's a technology injection. Wow, there you see. And we've got some more options here. The knight will always offer you a whole mess of new offensive abilities, but I'm pretty happy with ours here. Definitely didn't kill anybody, but it took him down to 1 shot for us. And if you don't feel like messing with these guys, you can always smack them through the floors as well. That's something that I learned. helpful if you're going for speed and you want to try to, you don't want to have to mess around with jumping, or you're not real concerned about how much money. Oh boy. None of these are really striking our fancy, but we'll go with Stunning Beauty. And maybe that'll come in handy at one point or another. Now the spear throwing guys can be a real pain in the ass. But you can smack them right out of the air. As long as you're not stuck between animations. You do have like an attack speed. So you can't just spam attack as much as you'd like. Pop our heart out, grab the health, and I don't really know what that's going to do for us, but we got plenty of money to upgrade our dude. Let's see. I think we're going to re-roll that. That's not looking very helpful. Yeah, that armor's going to do us good. Huh. Now that's a thought. Scales with your coins, but I think we're gonna go with the glasses. And then give this one more shot. Alright, recover one more energy when you get hit, so that'll come in handy for us. And we've got the Lost Soul, and I cannot stand this guy. I hate him with a burning passion. He spawns these assholes, which I already don't like. But one thing that I've had luck with, with really any of the bosses, is getting an ability that has multiple projectiles. Kind of like this one here. On the bright side, there are two possible bosses that you could face. Well, at least that I've seen. Oh wow. This is completely useless. Oh, as I was saying. There are two bosses in this round, or in this section that I've seen so far, and they each only have 2 offensive moves. So it's not quite so much learning that makes it difficult, it's just the absolute chaos that these bosses create. So at the end you get a little rundown of exactly how well you've done. This run lasted 11 minutes 52 seconds, and we've discovered 1 new item. So even after, what, 10-11 hours of me playing this game, I'm still discovering new things. And it also gives you a list of your best times in each of the respective zones with each of the characters that you have access to. I haven't actually managed to finish the whole with either of the new characters just because I haven't played with them too much. I'm I've grown rather attached to the Gladiator. So my 2 cents, it's an awesome game. It's a lot of fun. You can have it, you can play around through in as little as 12 minutes, just like you saw. Hundreds of items to pick up, tons of different ways that you can play it. But that's all I've got for you today. I don't want to keep you all too long. I hope you all enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe if you did. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.